Hey guys, welcome back to my video here. This is Pedro of Fame, and I'm doing a video on the new, I shouldn't say new, but the older PS4 Pro. I used to have a PS4, never had a PS4 Pro. I sold my PS4 a little bit ago for some money, just because I didn't need it anymore, and who cares, right? So I recently picked up a PS4 Pro in Glacier White. I'll show you guys that towards the end of the video, but I really wanted to go ahead and get into this being is this a good console and is this a good buy in the market of there being a PS5. You guys can see that in the shot, the PS5 that I have as well. Also, the next video after this is going to be a PS4 Pro versus PS5, and then you guys are going to see probably one more video with it, and then it's probably it for a while. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm working with. Type of games: Horizon, Fortnite, Village, Marvel, Spider-Man, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. These are the games that I currently have downloaded. Now, these are the same games that I have on my PS5, just the PS4 version, just because it was easier to compare as well when I do that comparison video. But we're going to go ahead and start off with this. And let's go. So you guys can see it there. Is there a big difference? We will see. In my few amount of testing, not a ginormous difference. Like I said, most of these games were with PS4 in mind already. So PS5 to PS4 Pro difference isn't going to be substantial. This is running at 4K, 60 frames per second as well. So nothing really crazy, I should say. You guys can see here how this runs, and it runs really fast. I did want to mention that PS5 to PS4 Pro, speed-wise, isn't huge. I thought it was gonna be like, oh man, like this is noticeable for anybody. But if I gave somebody a PS5 and a PS4 Pro and I played them back to back, I don't know if it's a huge difference. Now, there are gonna be some differences. You can kind of see it there. Updating, that is going to be better on the PS5. Also, connecting online services and things like that. Go offline. Just so I can go through this real quick. And scrolling through the screens are also much better on PS5. Much more easy. You can see the input lag and you can see where it's like messing up at. But for the most part, I'm not gonna lie, it's relatively easy to do this. So you guys can see here, things do take a little bit of time, but it's not huge. I did want to go ahead and mention that it's not really that big. Now, there are some graphically intense games that even the PS5 for some reason doesn't handle well at all. And that is, let me see, I can tell you that is true. That there are some games that the PS5, for some reason, like loading graphic intensive games like this at times sucks on the PS5 for some reason. I literally can't tell you why. But all I can say is that it is truly atrocious at times. So if that bothers you, I'd say pretty much you're screwed on that. And you already hear the PS4 fans kicking up. That's another thing I hated about the PS4. And even on the PS4 Pro, you can hear it. I mean, it is staggeringly loud for some reason. And I say for some reason just because it shouldn't be this loud, but man, this is horribly loud to play with. I mean, you can hear the fans running, and we haven't even started the game. We haven't done nothing yet. That is the difference between the PS5 and PS4 Pro. The PS5, you can barely hear the fans, and when you do hear the fans, it's not until it's been running for a little while and it's running something really heavy. Where this, you hear the fans off rip, and you can see that the guns didn't load in as fast as they should be. Where the PS4 Pro, it loads in beautifully. I know I picked a terrible gun. I'm just doing this forever. Wee. And you guys can see there. I don't know if you guys can see that lag input of where that happened at. A little hard to see. Now, this map, I did this on the PS5 not too long. I wish I took a video of it to insert the clip in, but none of this was shown. Like, it was just really bad. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if the PS5 was just having a hard time, but it literally did not load it. And you guys can, ooh. But you guys can, like I said, it's not that bad. 4K, 60 frames per second. It's running well, and it runs about the same as a PS5 on most occasions. And like I said, I will be doing a PS5 versus PS4 Pro comparison. This is just like my second time ever playing on a PS4 Pro, on this PS4 Pro. So I didn't want to do a comparison video. I feel like it was too early to do one on something like that. You guys can see I'm getting killed. This isn't my loadout, by the way. So now, even though I usually change up my loadouts, and my loadouts are usually way better than this, you guys can see how it is going, and you can see that the frame rates are pretty consistent throughout. Not bad at all running this game. And this game, I really did think this was gonna push it further than most games, to be honest. I thought this was definitely gonna be a game where it was gonna be a little bit tough. And I know on camera it's not gonna come out in 4K, it's gonna come out 1080 60 frames per second. But unfortunately, iPhones don't let you run 4K 60 frames per second unless you have the 256 gig model where you can do the ProRes version, which absolutely sucks. Well, I can't believe I didn't see in there. But it does display, it is a 4K, if that's what you guys are wondering. It's absolutely zips through this game like butter, surprisingly. By the way, the fan is running. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The fan is running for the PS4 Pro. Not as bad as it was in the very beginning when we first heard it. It is running, but it's really not bad. Honestly, you can live with this, and I'm gonna say it off rip here. You can live with a PS4 Pro right now, probably another 2 to 3 years if you really honestly wanted to. Honestly, you really aren't losing much with this from the PS5. Now, the PS5 has a way better interface. It is faster on load times. It is faster saving things, but this game really good. And I'm gonna be honest, this game runs it very well. Now we can do Fortnite, another game where not really graphic intensive, but a really easy game to hop into. That shows off frame rates per second in terms of like it needing to have a certain frame rates per second in order to really play the game, right? Now, like I said, it's not a demanding game, so it's not a huge deal, but it is an interesting one nonetheless. And I think this is a game that a lot of people are really going to be interested in playing. Obviously, Fortnite is a big AAA platform game. But so far it's not bad. I mean, running this on the PS5, it takes about around the same time. It's not really that big of a difference. And the wired internet connections provide a faster and more stable connection than wireless, which is weird because it never says on the PS5. I don't know. This is different maybe on the Wi-Fi chips as well. Maybe he's just letting me know ahead of time that the frame rates won't be great. I don't know. That was just an interesting thing that it put up there. Let me know if that shows up on you guys's as well. You can see the Ukraine. Yeah, I've seen this already on my PS5. So I don't need to look at this again. Let's get into a game, see what we can do here. Really interesting how fast this actually is. This actually is really fast game, to be honest with you guys. This game is running at an absolute great speed. I mean, even compared to a PS4, this is way better than a PS4 ever was. The PS4 was really bad, especially now. I mean, if you have a PS4, I'd say immediately, as quick as you can, get a PS5. Don't upgrade to a PS4 Pro because it's still the same general console. Now it is faster, but it definitely can run 4K. Definitely run what you need it to run, unless you're getting a tremendous deal. When I say tremendous, I mean an amazing deal on a PS4 Pro. Like if you trade your PS4 Pro, I mean if you're trading yours PS4, you can get the PS4 Pro for like additional $100 or $120, $150. Then I'd say 100% do the deal. You won't live to regret it. But if you're not getting that type of great deal, or you just say you want to get into PlayStation, you don't have a PlayStation, PS5 is the way to go. Don't waste your time and get a PS4 at that point. It's just not worth it. You're probably looking at something that really isn't worth the time, I'd say, to put into it. There's no real benefits to getting it. Now, I'm not saying there aren't anything, not great about it, but it's just not something I recommend wholeheartedly. So definitely do your research. Definitely look for something to be big. Also, if you guys didn't know, Fortnite got rid of building. What do you guys think about that? Them getting rid of building. That's so interesting to me. That is so interesting to me. I would have never thought, wow, I just died. So you guys just, wow. That's tragic. All right. Well, we're going to get off that game anyways. So, but you guys can see here. Now, I would run the other games, but to get into it takes a really long time. But you guys can run and see. Let's see how well you can switch between applications. So this is something that the PS5 has a good advantage on, as well as being able to switch between applications really well. I still hate the super bad feature that PS5 has not included the quick resume like Xbox has, where I could literally pause a game, go to another game, and come back to the first game and still be able to play it. I really wish PlayStation would put that out there. I heard they are working on a feature like that. That feature should already be out. That is a complete and utter debacle on their part that I believe they should have had fixed the first time. But nonetheless, I digress. But you guys can see I'm back in the game, back in the loadout, and that was really fast. I'm really impressed with the console. I would give this console a, if the PS5 is the A plus benchmark for PlayStation consoles, I'd give this one an A minus, probably leaning toward a B plus. Reason why, and here's the PS4 Pro, by the way, next to the PS5, which is also in white, funnily enough. But I'd give this one a lean close to a B plus if this is an A plus, because the faster load times, obviously it's next gen. It can actually do 4K 120 frames per second if you have 2.1 HDMI to a display that has it. This display doesn't have it. That's why I'm not. And most displays don't. And most people don't have one. So I really, that's the only reason, like, I'm not putting it more emphasis on that. But the fact that it can run it and it can run it well is a big deal. Controller is a lot better than the PS4 Pro. That's a huge thing for me. Also, the adaptive triggers are amazing. The fan noise is kind of a little annoying now, coming from a console that doesn't have any fan noise. But other than that, nothing else really changes. Oh, and also the I/O ports on the PS5 are better than the PS4 Pro, where this is a USB-A, these are USB-Cs. So much better, charges way faster than the USB-As did with this stupid glow thing, which I'm glad they got rid of. And this one just made it a ring around a little bit. And I think that is just a lot better. And I like how they rounded it out. It's a fatter controller than the PS4 was. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the PS4 Pro and it on my Samsung M7 monitor and how it runs. And you can see that it obviously runs great. And it is running at 4K, 60 frames per second. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.